ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 74, verse number 30. So in the previous class we studied how Sahadeva, he suggested that Krishna should be given the first worship, and then he described the reason for that. He described Krishna's qualities, how he is Bhagavan, he is the creator, he is the only one source behind this universe. So therefore it is he only who should be worshipped. And after that all the people present there, they approved it. They said sadhu, sadhu. And some bowed down. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj, he worshipped along with his wife, brothers, followers, family members, and took the water on his head to purify himself. He was unable to speak because he felt so happy. As we read earlier, that this was his heart's hidden intention, desire, that Krishna should have the first worship, so that people who think he is only a human being or have some doubts, their doubts will be dispelled, because he was given the first worship in the presence of Brahma, Shiva, Indra, all other devas. So that proves him to be the Supreme Ishvara, Supreme Lord. So then there was happiness, and all the people who were there, they bowed down to him. And there was a rain of flowers from the sky. Now after hearing all this, there is one person who was having a lot of disturbance in his mind. So finally he stands up and he speaks. So this is a very interesting episode, what is being described here now, because this shows how people can have such opposing views about one person, and everyone is convinced about their view. The way Sahadev spoke and how he establishes it, that seems correct. The way Shishupal will speak, that also seems, if you don't know who Krishna is, and you hear about Krishna the way Shishupal speaks, then it will make sense. So this is what happens in our day-to-day life also, that somebody speaks positively about someone because that person likes, another person speaks absolutely negatively. And then when you hear the negative talk about somebody, then all the actions of that person will also appear negative to you. The way that person looks, the way that person walks and talks, because now you become already influenced and you start seeing and interpreting the movements and the actions of that person from the view of what you have heard. And this we see all the time happening, that how people have such divergent views about one person. Of course, one person has got many characteristics, many qualities, and they manifest in different way to different people, because the same person may relate to somebody in a very loving, kind manner, to another in a different manner. But some neutral person hearing and then seeing that person accordingly, that is the interesting thing. And so now we see how Shishupal sees Krishna. Itham nishamya damghos sutah swapithad utthaya Krishna guna varnana jata manyu ukshipya bahu idamaha sadasya marshi sanshraveyan bhagavate parushanya bhitaha. So itham nishamya damghos sutah swapithad. So Damghosha is the father of Shishupala. So Shishupal, he heard all this talk, and then he stood up from his seat, Swapithadutthaya, because Krishna Guna Varnana Jata Manyu. Hearing the good qualities of Krishna, all the virtues of Krishna, made him very enraged, very angry. And Ukshipya Bahum Idamaha Sadasya Marshi. Being so very intolerant, he raised his arm up like he want to say something. So you raise your hand up. So he also did Kshippa Bahum Idamaha Sadasya Marshi Samsravayan Bhagavate Parashani Abhita. And he spoke, making everyone hear about Sri Krishna and also making him hear Samsravayan Bhagavate Parushani Abhita. And he was fearless. One would think that to speak directly like this to Krishna, who was just accepted as the first person to be honored in that assembly, you will feel very inhibited to do that. He did not, because that is also a sign of a foolish person. They can be very bold. So Dvijanam Amarshi Aisahishnur Ato Jatamanyu. So Amarshi here means one he was intolerant, and therefore Jatamanyu, he got very angry. Atra pujaya arambha kale noktam kintu puja samapti anantarameva iti atra Shishupalasya ayam abhipraya. So he did not speak up like this before the puja was done, because Sahadev spoke and then puja was done, worship was done of Krishna. He should have stopped at that time. He says this is wrong, he should not be given the first puja, first worship. Why is this happening? So he did not stop at that time. Only after the worship was over and everybody praised Krishna and took the Charanamrita, then he speaks. So why is that? So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, he gives his insight into it. Yadi aham adhuna eva vipratipadya bahun eva hetun upanyasya krishnasya apujyatvam pratipadayami tato nirasti kartu shakyastam asya mamaiva matam grihitva sabhya krishnam apujyatva kamapi anyameva yogyam agra pujayam vyavasthapisyanti yagyasya sadhu pravartishyate tasmat yagyam vijaghansuraham sampratam tushnimeva vartisya krishne khalu pujita satyeva tasya apujyatve prati mat pratipadite apujyayatra pujyante pujyanam cha vyatikrame pratibadhanati hi shreya pujya vyatikrame ityadi smaranat yudhishtrasya ayam yagyo nashta iti yuktva mayi matsangisu cha bahusu rajsu vedvad vidvesu cha asya bhratri bandhusu duryodhanadeshu cha utthaya gatesu hahakare prarutte madabhishtam setsati. It's a long sentence. So anyway, this is really deep crooked thinking. There are two types of crooked thinking. One is simple crooked thinking, and there is deep crooked thinking. So he thought like this, that when the puja is about to start, and if I object now, and I am going to give my reasoning why he is not qualified to be worshipped first. Bahuneva hetun upanasya. I will give various reasons for that, and no one will be able to refute my reasoning. This is how people think. So Krishnasya apujyatvam pratipadayami. I will establish it with logic that Krishna is not qualified to be worshipped. Tato nirasti kartu ashakyatvamasya. And there will be nobody who will be able to refute my arguments. He is already assuming that. Mamaeva matam grihitva sabhya krishnam apujitva. So then all the people who are assembled here, they will accept my opinion, and therefore they will not worship Krishna. So kamapi anyameva yogyam. So then they will select someone qualified who will also be approved by me, not only by others. and then his Agra Puja will be done. Yogyam Agra Pujayam Vyavasthapishyanti. Yagyascha sadhu pravartishyate. Then the yagya will continue properly. There will be no problem. But this is what he does not want. He does not want that yagya is completed. So means he is not only envious of Krishna but also of Yudhishthira, because they are devotees. So then how it will stop now when puja is done? It seems just the other way around. If he wants to stop the Agra Puja, Yagya, he should stop the Agra Puja. But if Agra Puja is done, how the Yagya will be stopped? So this is his reason. Tasmat Yagyam Vijaghamsuraham Sampratam Tushni Meva Vartishe. Says, because my wish is that this Yagya should be destroyed, it should not be completed. So now I will keep quiet. And Krishna khalu pujite sati eva tasya pujyatve mat pratipadate. So then, when Krishna has been worshipped, then I will prove that he was not qualified. And because unqualified person has been worshipped, therefore this yagya is useless. Because there is a statement, apujya yatra pujyante pujya namcha vyatikrama prativadnati hishreya pujya puja vyatikrama. That a place where unworthy people are worshipped and those who are worthy of worship are not worshipped. So there nothing good can happen. Why? Because those who are worthy of worship, their worship has been transgressed. So that will destroy the yagya. So he is thinking that if Krishna is worshipped, then this yagya is already destroyed. This is logic. Iti adi smarnat yudhishtrasya yagyo nashta iti uktva mai matsangisu cha bahusu rajasu. He says, then I will recite this sloka once his worship is done, and I will put my logic to prove that how he is not qualified, and then I will say that now Yudhishthira's yagya has been demolished because you people have worshipped somebody who is not qualified. And saying this, I will stand up and leave along with my associates. And I will ask all other kings also to leave with me, and they will leave with me. He is quite sure of that. So, Bahusu Rajsu Ved Vipreshu Chasya Bhratri Bandhushu. And many of the Brahmanas will also leave with me because they are knower of the Vedas and they would understand, yes, this is something wrong which has happened. And in fact, the friends and relatives of Yudhishthira like Duryodhana, Karna and the Bhishma, etc., they will also leave. So this is how people make plan in their mind, and they think that everything is just going to happen the way they are planning. So chautha gatesu hahakare pravritte, and then when this happens, there is going to be hahakar, means alas, alas, this yagya is destroyed. And then I will be laughing inside that how I have achieved success in my goal. So this is what he is thinking. Deep thinker. Iso duratya kala eti satyavati srutihi vriddhanamapi yadbuddhir balvakyair vibhadyate. So this is what he said, that time is the supreme controller. No one can counteract time. He says Satyavati Shruti, this is the eternal statement of the Vedas, that time is unsurpassable. Otherwise, how is it that even so many learned people They got fooled by the words of this boy, Sahadev. Sahadev is looking like a boy to him. And so many learned people, Vyasa, Parashara, Gautama, Jaimini, they all just listen to him. How is this possible? So instead of actually thinking that what Sahadev is saying, there must be some truth in it, because so many learned scholars who are sitting here and they did not raise any objection, his thinking is that this is the influence of time. See, everybody has their own logic. And time influenced the mind of all these people in such a way that they just listened to Sahadev and did not think otherwise. Amazing. Amazing power of time. Now he says, Yuyam patra vidam shrestha mamandhvam balabhashitam sadasah pataya sarve krishnoyat sammatorhane. So he says that all of you people who have assembled here, you are all qualified to know who is the best person to be worshipped. You are the Patra Vidam Shrestha. Patra Vida means one who knows who is qualified and who is not qualified. And you are the best among them. Means you all have the ability to see who is qualified and who is not qualified. So then if this is the case, then they all agreed to Krishna worship. So why are you now speaking? So, but now he says, therefore you should not listen to this boy. Ma mandhvam bala bhashitam. He says, this boy Sahadev, what he has spoken, don't pay attention to him. O Sadaspatiya, the leaders of this assembly, what he has said, sarve Krishno yat sammato arhane. What he said, that Krishna is the qualified person to attain this puja, don't listen to him. But what does it mean? They already listened. The worship is already done. He Sadaspataya ma grinihita ityartha. So he says, so, O members of this assembly, please do not accept the words of Sahadeva. Vagdevi mate duryodhanadishu vipaksheshu balbhasitamive ma mandhva kintu idameva tattvam dev bhasitam ityartha. And then he says, according to Saraswati, that Duryodhana etc. what have spoken to Shishupal, those are the words of the child. Means what Shishupal is, because who is Bal Bhashitam here? He himself. So one way is that don't take the words of Shishupal, Sahadev. Another is don't take the words, my own words, because I am just a child. This is the other meaning. Ma mandhva kintu idameva tattvam ved bhasitam. But rather this is the truth. This is spoken by the Vedas, that sarve Krishna yat sammato arhane. That Krishna should be worshipped. That is the meaning from point of view of Saraswati. Tapo vidya vrata dharan jnana vidvasta kalmashan paramarshin brahmanishtan lokapalaisya pujitan sadaspati nati kramya gopalaha kulapamshanaha yatha kake purodasham sapariyam katam varhati. So now he speaks really harsh statements. He says that there are so many great learned people here who are austere, knowledgeable, performing various vratas, who have destroyed their ignorance by knowledge, the great sages, those who are completely devoted to Brahman, the Lokpalas who are worshipable, like Varuna, Indra, Yamaraja, etc. So how is it that transgressing or passing all these people, this Gopala, this cowherd boy, who is a stigma to his family, has been worshipped? How is this? So he says it is just like that you prepare purodash for doing the yajna and the crow comes and eats it. Yatha kakaha purodasham sapariyam kathamarati. So obviously purodas is not meant for a crow. Purodas is meant for the devas, because that is offered in the yajna. So, but what has happened is that this worship, which was meant for some great sages like Brahma, etc., devas or Vyasa, great sage, but it has been given to a crow. Tapo vidya ityadi visheshnani sadaspatin prinitva swapakshe sthayitum upanyastani. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Sri Sripal is being very clever, so he is praising all the people who are present there, that you are all very austere, learned, realized of the truth situated in Brahman. So he is speaking all this so that by hearing the praise they will favor him. They will say, their hearts will become soft, because praise is like that. So stotram kasyana rochate. So if you praise somebody, then obviously that person becomes a little softer towards you. Then you ask that person to do something. So he is praising them, and then what he is going to say, they should agree to that. Otherwise, what is the benefit of this praise? Matul vadhadina kulpamsana. So why is he called as kulpamsana? Means like a black spot in the family. He says because he killed his own maternal uncle, Kamsa Maharaj. Kamsa was a great king, honorable, powerful, and Krishna's maternal uncle, and he killed him. So what is his character? Somebody is killing his own uncle. So therefore he is calling. So he gives another meaning of kulpamsana. The commentator cannot be satisfied without that. So he says kulapansana is kulpa ansana. So kulpa, kutsitam lapanti kulapa. So kulapa means those who talk nonsense. Kulapa, like kubhasha. Lap, like in Hindi you say lap lap, क्यों लप लप कर रहा है, बोलते हैं ना. So lap means to talk. This Sanskrit dhatu lap, lapti, lapati, lapata, lapanti. So lap lapam kurvanti. Lapati means lapam karoti, lapati. Lap lapam kurvanti, lap lapanti, lapanti. So those who talk nonsense, they are called kulpa, kulapa. Tan amshayati ghatayati se kulpamsa. And one who kills such people, he is called kulpamsana. Means this Shishupal is talking nonsense, so he will be killed by him. That is the meaning of kulapamsana. Yathavadeva na vidyate, then he said kaka, that crow. So he breaks the sandhi as akaka. because yatha kaka purodasam sapariyam katham arhati. So instead of taking this as yatha kaka, he says yatha akaka. And then what does akaka means? So yathavadeva na vidyate kam sukham akam dukham cha yasya sahiti. So akaka, ka means happiness. Aka means not happiness. So akaka means ka plus aka is kaka. And na kaka iti akaka. So means who is neither happy nor suffering. He is akaka. Means who is beyond happiness and suffering. So obviously he deserves the puja. So that is the meaning. So yathavadeva na vidyate kam sukham akam dukham cha yasya sahiti प्राकृत सुख दुख अतीत स्वरूपम इत्यर्थ है. पुरोडास अर्पण मात्र ही सपर्याम इंद्रादिवत कथम अर्हति. So he says this purodas etc. it is given to Indra. So the question is that yatha akakam saparyam katham arhati. Purodasam saparyam katham arhati. So he says he does not deserve this because this is meant for Indra etc. He needs something more. Not this purodas. I mean, Krishna wants some like rubbery type thing, Not this. Purodas is nothing, it's basically rice cake, without any sugar in it, nothing. That is purodas. You make astakapala. 8 small mud pots, like you use them on Diwali day. Those are called kapala. So you make 8 of them and you cook in them and then offer it. So this is not for Krishna, it's for Indra. So that's why he says that purodas arpan matri saparya indradivat kathamarati apitu swatma arpanam eva. He says he deserves full surrender, love, not this purodas. Varnashrama kulapetah sarvadharma bahishkritah swarvarti gunairhina saparyam katham arhati. So he is making every sloka as a question. How does he deserve this worship? He says varnashrama kula apetah, that he is kicked out of varnashram dharma. He is not part of dharma. He is outcast. And swarvarti, he follows his own mind, swarvarti. Gunairhina, he has no good qualities. Saparyam kathamarati, so how does he deserve worship? How does he deserve puja? So varnashrama iti spashtam. He says the direct meaning of the sloka is clear. What is the other meaning? Paksha varnashram kulani asamyak prakarene apnuvanti varnashram kulapa Shri Vasudevade tai putradittvena ita prapta. So varnashram apa means varnashram kulapa ita. So varnashram kulapa is those who follow varnashram properly. So that is Vasudeva, etc. And putradittvena ita prapta. So you break the sandhi varnashram kulapa ita prapta. Means who he was attained as a son by Vasudeva. It's called varnashram kulapeta. And sarva dharma bahishkrita rahita, obviously he is free from all dharma because he is beyond dharma. dharma projita kaitavatra parmona sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. So he is beyond all that. Swarvarti, he is also Swar because he is Parameshwara. He is not following anybody's injunctions. All other are Anishwara, he is Ishwara, that is the meaning of Swaira. Gunair Hina, he is free from gunas. Guna means sattva, rajas, tamas. Obviously he is transcendental to the gunas. So Suddha Sattva Sarupatvat, he is Suddha Sarupa. So Sattvam Visuddham Vasudev Sabditam Yatrupu Yate Pumana Pavrita. So he is free from all that. Evam Bhutoyam Saparya Matram Katham Arhati. So again the question is that person who is like this, why you think that he deserves only some little puja? He deserves complete surrender. That is the meaning. Yati na yesham hi kulam shaptam sadbhir bhahiskritam vrithapānaratam shashvat sapariyam katham arhati. So yati na yesham hi kulam shaptam sadbhir bhahiskritam. He says that their dynasty has been cursed by Yati. So that story we read in the 9th canto. Yati who had Sarmishtha as his wife, Sukracharya's daughter. But Devyani came also because there was a fight between Sarmishtha and Devyani. Then he produced children in Devyani also. Sarmishtha got very angry, ran back to his father Sukracharya. Yati followed because he was Patni Bhakta. So wherever Patni goes, he goes also. But wife walked faster than him, so she reached earlier. Because she was in angry mood, he was relaxed. He was walking at the royal pace. Kings don't walk very fast. They walk slowly, like an elephant. So she complained to Sukracharya. So Sukracharya was already pumped up. And as I said, that when you are already pumped up, then you see things like that only. So when Yati came, he immediately cursed him, that you become old. No. So that's, then Yati beseeched him. He says, what is this? I am the husband of your daughter. If I become old, then your daughter has an old husband, she is young. So you are cursing me or cursing her? So then Sukracharya realized. And the daughter also kept quiet. So then he said, well, I cannot take my curse back, but you can change your youth to one of your sons. So he went to all different sons. One of his sons was Yadu. So he asked Yadu, give me your youth. Yadu says, no way. I cannot. So then Yati cursed him that you will never become king in your dynasty, whole dynasty, nobody will become king. That's what he's saying, Yati na yesham hi kulam shaptam. He says their whole dynasty has been cursed by Yati, you cannot become king. Sadbhir bahiskritam, and they have been outcasted by all sadhus. And vritha panratam sasvat, and they always engaged in drinking. Panaratam. Pan means Madhyapan. So that is considered as Mahapataka, right? Stealing gold, drinking liquor, stealing, having affair with Guru's wife, and associating with any of these four people. These are 5 Mahapatakas. These are the 5 great sins. So these are people who are engaged in drinking all the time. how can they become qualified to be worshipped? Forget about first worship. They are not qualified to be worshipped at all. So he says, Sapariyam katham arhati. How does he deserve this? So yayati spashtam pakshe yati na saptam api sadbhis tasmat sapat bhahishkritam. So he takes the meaning that all the yatinaya shamkulam saptam sadbhir bhahishkritam. He is taking these two as together. That although their dynasty was cursed by Yati, but the saintly people kicked away the curse. Bhahishkritam. Therefore there is no curse anymore in them. Ateva Kartavirya Adibhi Samrajyam Praptam. That's why Kartavirya Arjun, he became a king. He came in the high dynasty. Comes in the Yadu. Ateva Panaratam. Pana means Padhatu. There are two Padhatu. One Pa is to drink, other Pa is Palane, to protect. So Panaratam means that they are engaged in protecting, not drinking. So Madhyapa means one who protects. Madhya. So Tatratam Prithvi Palanam. Panam means protecting the earth. Tasmad Vritha Sapariyam Kathamarati Apitu Sarthakam eva. So therefore he does not deserve puja just like that, but he actually deserves it. Brahmarshi Sevitan Deshan Hitvayate Brahma Varchasam Samudram Durgam Ashritya Badhante Dashava Praja. So you see his logic is going on with his logic. And one can become influenced by it. Here there is not so much given. If you read Mahabharata, there is a whole chapter just speaking on this. So he says that look, what these people, their character is that they have given up the land which is resided by or walked over by great sages, Brahmarshis. Brahmarshis Sevitan Desha Hitvayataita Brahma Varchasa. Therefore they are Abrahma Varchasa. They are living in land which is against Vedas, Veda Virodhi. Like previously, people used to say that if you travel outside India, then you become fallen. You lose your dharma. So when they traveled, came back, they have to do prayaschitta because you are going to the Mlecha Desh. So now Krishna has done that. He has given up Bharatvarsha. He is inside the water. That is not Bharatvarsha. So that is Abrahma Varchasa. Samudram Durgam Ashritya Bandhante. So he is living in a fort inside the ocean. And what do? They come out to the land and they plunder like dacoits and then run away and hide there. That's what they have been doing. So Badhante Dasya Praja. So that's what they trouble. Ete Yadavo Dasyavaha. He says these Yadavas are dacoits. Abrahma Varchasa Brahma Tej Rahita. They do not have any prowess or influence of the Vedas in them. Brahma Tej. Samudragatam Durgam Dwarka Akhyam Ashritya Praja Badhante. So they hide in the fort in Dwarka and they trouble people. That's their only business. Pakshe Brahmarsi Sevitan api Deshan Mathuran Hitva Tatra Durga Bhava Tyaktva Brahmavarchasam Brahma Tejomayam Samudragatam Dwarkakhyam Durgam Ashritya Badhante Kaniti Apekshama Dasyava Shishupaladdhya. Now he twists the meaning that they have given up land of Mathura where great Brahmarshis live and they have gone to Dwarka. So why Brahmarchas Brahma Tejamaya Sadurgatam? Now he is saying that Brahma Sevitan Desan Mathuran Hitva Tatra Durg Bhav Tyaktva. So they have given up the feeling of fort, etc. in Mathura, and they have gone to Brahmavarchas. So he is reading this Brahmavarchas as Brahmavarchas. Previous reading was Abrahmavarchas. That this is Brahma Tejamaya, this is full of the effulgence of the Vedas, or Vedic power. Samudragatam Dwarkakhyam Durgam Ashritya. And thus they are happily living in a fort within the sea. Badhante, they are troubling. Whom do they trouble? He said they trouble the Dasyus. Dasyavaha Praja. Badhante. Sishupaladya. He says this Sishupalada, they are the dacoits. Prakarshena balavatvena jayante utpadyante iti praja tam. So they basically are Shishupal, etc. They are the one who are troubling the praja. Okay, what he is saying is that Dasyavaha praja badhante. That because they have left Mathura and they are living in Dwarka, then dacoits like Shishupal are troubling people. That's how he is taking the meaning. Evamadiniya bhadrani babhashe nastamangalaha novacha kinchit bhagwan yatha simha sivarutam. So in this way he spoke many abusive words to Sri Krishna because he has lost all his auspiciousness. So Bhagwan Sri Krishna, he heard everything, did not say anything. It is just like if the jackals are howling, then the lions do not pay any attention to that. Or as in the Hindi they say that if the elephant is walking, the dogs are barking, an elephant doesn't care. So कुत्ते भौंकते हैं, karma गुजर जाता है. So it is seen many times, the elephant comes in the village and all the village dogs, because they have never seen an elephant, so they come barking. But the interesting thing is that they don't come in front of the elephant. They bark only from the backside. So this is what barking dogs are like that. They don't come and speak in front or criticize in front. They bark, but the elephant moves on, doesn't care. So like that it says Singha Sivarutam. So Shiva Srigala, Shiva means the jackal, Tasya Rutam Srutva iti says. Dutiya artha, second meaning, Tuna Vidyante Bhadrani Yebhyastani Simha Nirshinga Shivasya Arutam Stutim. Then he takes another meaning. Simha here means Narsingha Dev, and Shiva, you know Shiva, Bhagavan Shiva. Arutam means his prayer. So when Narsingha appeared and he killed Hiranyakashipu, then all the devas came and prayed to him. So he says Narsingha did not hear the prayer of Shiva because he was in a very angry mood at that time. Brahma also prayed, so people prayed, but nobody dared to come near him. So he is taking here Yatha Simha Sivarutam, just as Narsingha did not hear the prayers of Shiva, like that Krishna did not pay any attention to what he is saying. Bhagwan Nindanam Shrutva Dussaham Tat Sabhasadha Karnau Pidhaya Nirjagmu Shapantas Chedipam Rasha. So when he was criticizing Bhagwan like this, which was intolerable to the members there, they did not like it. So they covered their ears and they left from there while cursing Chedip, the king of Chedi, Shishupal, out of anger. Because it is said that Nindam Bhagavata Shrunmans Tatparasya Janasyava Tato Napati Yasopi Yati Adha Sakrita Achyuta. That one who hears the criticism of Bhagwan or criticism of his devotees and does not leave that place, then that person also falls down. Sukritat, he loses all his piety. The one who is criticizing definitely is being very offensive and he will lose all his piety, but one who hears it will also lose it. Therefore one should not hear criticism of Bhagavan or God or his devotees. So all these Brahmanas, because they cannot fight, so they left. They started moving away from there. So Shapantaha Hare Shishupal Sadhya Pranai Vijyastva iti Akroshante. So they were cursing Shishupal. How were they cursing? They were saying, "O Shishupal, may you die immediately." And Niskramane Pramanam Shastra Vakya Mahanindam. He is giving the pramana, the Shastric pramana, that why they were leaving, because it says that one should not hear criticism. Tata Pandu Sutta Kruddha Matsya Kaikaya Srinjayaha Udayudha Samuttasthu Shishupala Jigham Shaiva. So when he spoke like this, then the Pandavas, they became very enraged, along with the kings of Matsya, Kaikaya and Sanjaya. They are all relatives of Pandavas. So they took up their weapons and stood up to attack Shishupal and wanted to kill him right away. Pandu Sutta Bhimadaya Samyag Utplutya Tastu. So Pandu Sutta, although the Pandu Suttas are five of them, but he especially says Bhima because Bhima gets angry quickly. Yudhishthira Maharaj takes some time, but Bhima immediately was boiling. His body was on fire, wanted to kill. He already came after killing Jarasandha, so he wanted to smash Shishupal also. Tataischadvastva sambhranto jagrihe khadga charmani bharsyan krishna pakshiyan rajyah sadasi bharata. So when Shishupal saw this, that these people have stood up, jumped up from their seat and they are holding weapons, then he also got a shield and a sword in his hand. He was also ready to fight. So he was not fearful. So when death comes, then people can be stupidly bold. And he was also criticizing Krishna Pakshiyan, those who were supporting Krishna. He also started criticizing them in that assembly of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So then Krishna himself takes care of Shishupal. So here it is not mentioned, but that story is described in Mahabharata, that when Shishupal was born, then from his very birth he was always abusive to Krishna. Even before he could speak in an articulate manner, He was already abusing him. And there was a voice from the sky, because he was born with 4 hands, I think 4, that this boy, in whoever laps he goes and he will lose his 2 hands, that person will be the killer of him. So therefore she would always give the baby to different people to know who is going to kill my son. Then Krishna visited, because he is Krishna's mother's sister's son. So then he went, and the aunt gave Shishupal in Krishna's lap. Immediately his 2 hands disappeared. So then she knew that Krishna is the one who is going to kill him. So she begged him that, please do not kill my son. So Krishna said, yes, I will not kill, but if he abuses me more than 100 times, then I will not tolerate him. So he was listening all this time, Shishupal's abuses. When it became 100, then now he'll come. So tavad utthaya Bhagavan swan nivarya swayam rusha shirakshuranta chakrena jahara apatato ripoho. So at that time Krishna himself, he stood up. All this time he was just sitting down. And he stopped his own people, Pandavas, etc., who were ready to attack him. And being angry, he himself cut off the head of Shishupal with his disc, which is sharp like a knife, while Shishupal was ready to attack Krishna. Shishupal also went to attack Krishna. Apatato ripoho. And Krishna finished him in one shot. Tavad utthayati atra bhagavato ayam abhipraya. So at that time, Sri Krishna, he stood up, and the intention of Krishna was as follows. Yadi aham tushnim-eva varte tadaite parasparam yudhyamana yajña pradesham evam rudhir pradesham eva karishyanti. So he thought like this, that if I don't say anything, if I don't take action, and I sit quietly, then these Pandavas, Ninjas, Kakayas, Matsyas, they are going to attack, and there is going to be fight. Because Shishupal also had his supporters. He was not just alone. So there is going to be a lot of bloodshed in that area. And this is the Yajna area. So they don't want any blood there. So that's what it says, Rudhir Pradesham eva Krishyanti. Yadi cha swasena sahito rathamaruhya anena sahyotse tadapi sthalamidam rakt kardamam ayam bhavishyati. And if I ride on a chariot and challenge Shishupal to fight with me, then also many people will be killed, and this whole area will become full with the mud of blood mud. So that is not good for the yajna. Ubhayathapi matpreshthasya yudhishthirasya rajasuya yajño nankshati. In both cases, the yajna of my most dear Yudhishthira Maharaj will be destroyed. Sandhistuvatra sarvathaeva duskaram tasmad evam vidheyam. So then one may say, why don't you make truce with Shishupal instead of fighting? So he says that is not possible, because this Shishupal is never going to make any truce. He will become more strong, thinking that Krishna has become scared of him. So therefore I have to do only this. This is the only solution, that I cut off his head without shedding the blood. Nishchitya tatakshanayev utthaya shiro jahara. So by saying this, he just removed his head from his body. Tatha yatha tatra yajna sthale rudhir bindur api na papat. So one may say, well, even then some blood is going to fall. It's going to be a bloody place. So he says that Krishna cut in such a way that no blood drop fell on the ground. After cutting the head, he stuck it back there so that the blood doesn't come out, and he's dead. So this is the Shishupal Leela over. Shabda kola halo apyasit Shishupala hata mahan tasya anunayino bhupa dudruvu jivitaishana. So then there was a big halla bullo, big noise, big hue and cry, and Shishupal was killed, and all his followers, they ran away from there, afraid that now it's their turn. So trying to protect their life, they ran away, because they knew that if Shishupal is killed, next is the followers of Shishupal. So everybody ran away from there. So this is, we'll stop here. We will describe now what happened to Shishupal after he is killed. And that we will do tomorrow.
Babaji, I think in 7th canto they will quote I think Shishupal abusing Krishna from when he is small child. I mean this section where Yudhishthira is talking about that.
Kalbhashitam. Kalbhashitam means he was not even able to speak clearly. Bhushan.
My question is like the Shishupal that Krishna doesn't follow Varnashram, but why would he say that? Because he was Vasudeva Kshatriya, and then he from Kshatriya perspective went to Nanda Maharaj because of threat from Kamsa, and he came back, and then he didn't do anything which was Varnashram. Why would people accuse him?
Does it cost anything to accuse? His accusations are obviously false. Krishna says, I come to establish dharma. Chaturvarne maya srishtam gun karma vibhagasha. But it doesn't cost anything if you want to accuse. Words can flow freely from your mouth. It is the easiest muscle to move. Every other muscle takes more energy. Okay, what is Mohini's question?
We saw that Krishna knew how Jarasandha could be killed because he knew the details of his birth. My question is, does Shiva or Brahma also possess this kind of omniscience, knowing every Atma at all times in all places, or is such omniscience unique to Bhagavan Krishna? For example, would Shiva also been able to instruct Bhima on how to kill Jarasandha? Do other avatars of Krishna like Rama, Matsya have the same level of omniscience as Krishna?
Yeah, all Vishnu avatars are omniscient. But Shiva and Brahma, there is no need for them to be omniscient. But if there is a necessary to do their seva, they will know. Sandeep.
So, you said that in the storyline is there about Shishupal abuse Bhagavan Krishna. So, here we read a little of that, and in all those, this second meaning was given by Vishwanath Chakravarti. So, in all other also statements, that second meaning can be found, or is it only specifically for Bhagavatam he has given those meanings?
All other statement means which statement?
like this Mahabharata statement, no, there is you have so many other things.
Yeah, you can do that.
So there also we can find the second.
Yeah, you have to have mastery over grammar, Vyakarana.
That is lacking.
Then you can do that.
Okay.
You know, the first verse of Bhagavatam has got 100 meanings. So that those 100 meanings, they come only by breaking the sandhi here, breaking the sandhi there. Then you give another meaning, take this dhatu. So it depends how expert you are at Vyakaran and the rules, the samasas. And you can do that.
I'd like to know whether it was dharmika of Jarasandha to imprison the kings in such a pitiable position, or is this also indicative of that he was actually double-faced? That on the one hand he was very dharmic into the brahmanas and he gave these speeches, but on the other hand
he was keeping them to make an offering for Devi. So he was doing it for dharma. He wanted to give certain amount, I don't know how many. So it was still lacking. So he wanted to chop off their head in one night and offer. Okay. So Bhatti Kavya